you one and you just picked all of them.
What we just had last week on the zone with the Bivol Beterbiev card, from top to bottom, there wasn't a bad fight. Everyone was entertaining. Everyone could have been their own headline fight. And I think this is a similar show. Excellent card from top to bottom.
I mean, Boachuk and Madrimov aren't here, Barry. That's the co-main event. How much are you looking forward to that? Some are saying it could steal the show on the night.
I think Madrimov's a massive favourite, but with Boachuk, you know what you're going to get. A guy who comes forward, and when you hit him in shots, he just comes forward again. He's that sort of fighter, so he's never in a dull fight. But Madrimov has supreme skills, so he should be able to dictate it. But Boachuk has shown, although at a lower level, that he sometimes outdoes the skill.
What about you, Andy? How much will Madrimov have learned from his last fight, albeit a defeat, but to Terence Crawford?
Yeah, he'd feel a bit aggrieved. He felt he might have won the fight against Terence Crawford. But he's a classy boxer. He can fight inside, he can fight outside. I think he'd look to put on a show. If he can be the first one to stop Boachuk, it'll be a statement.
Do you think that could... obviously, Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury is the main event. You think that's going to be the big one? It's going to be hard
listen, these are all great fights, but they're just, little appetizers till you get to the main course, because the drama of the first fight between Fury and Usyk, it was engrossing. I was in the corner, and every round had its own story. You could just take one round and watch that. It was entertaining. So, yeah, I think this is a fight for the ages, a rematch for the ages, and it'll be going down in history in boxing annuals for all time. So we've got a big fight ahead of us.
Absolutely. Johnny Fisher against Dave Allen. I mean, Dave Allen, he probably can't even imagine that he's ended up on one of these cards, can he?
No, well, again, in that division more than any other division, you're never finished. Your career's never over until you walk away for good. So, but this is a hard step up for him again. Being relatively inactive and probably past his peak, let's be honest, against a guy in Johnny Fisher who's right at this peak. He had an injury with his bicep. I think that's fully recovered now. So he's coming off his best performance against Alan Babbage. He's got to put on another big performance here, Johnny Fisher, because he's on the cusp now of just getting beyond that British level. He's not quite there yet. Loads of time with him, but he's there or thereabouts. So I think for him, this fight is a good fight for him. If he wins his impression fast.
So who do you think's got the better mullet, Dave Allen or Johnny Fisher?
You'd be surprised. I'm not really an expert in that.
I was going to say,
I love the mullets.
What about Johnny Fisher then, Andy? He probably feels like he was destined to be on a card like this.
Oh, I think it's something. It's a new experience for him. He's always fought at home. Being a big ticket seller, you don't go too far from your base. But he'd be looking to bring a big crowd with him over to Riyadh. And that'll be a new experience for them and for Riyadh. They're not used to seeing, outside of Fury and Usyk, who bring a big crowd. Johnny Fisher will bring in the next biggest crowd, I think. And that will be an experience to be in that arena and watch them fight. But Johnny's done very well as a young fighter. He's coming up and he's learning all the time. He's taking the steps. He's progressing well. He's got a great coach in Mark Tibbs. And, I think the right man for him, just to educate him little by little. And listen, Dave Allen's will be in this fight, I think, because he is past his best, but he's very game, and he always comes to fight, so he'll have a chance at this weight. It only takes one punch.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are about to hear from Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen and all the other fighters on the undercard. It is now time to pass over to your MC for this press conference, Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the press conference for Reignited Usyk-Fury 2, a great night of World Championship Boxing to be held on Saturday, December 21st from the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We would first like to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, Jia, Turkey, Al-Sheikh. It is being brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, Jia, with Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Bob Aram for Top Rank Incorporated, Gold Star Promotions, Gypsy King, K2 Promotions, and Sella, along with their great sponsors, Saudi Tourism Authority, Saudi National Bank, STC, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, Saudia Airlines, New Muraba Development Company, Tawuniya, Lucid Motors, and Al Tanfidi. A big thanks to those sponsors. This great event will be shown in the UK and worldwide on DAZN, and also in the UK on TNT Sports Box Office. Let's now welcome our Part 1 press conference participants, beginning with Lightning Lee McGregor. Usyk Westgate Warrior Lowe. Peter McGrail. Dennis the Menace McCann. Dave the White Rhino Allen. Johnny the Romford Bull Fisher. Dempsey the Tower McKean. Moses Itauma. International Boxing Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren of Queensberry Promotions. Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. And now, here is your host, Mr. Dev Sani.
Wow, thank you, Thomas Treiber. Let's hear it for Thomas Treiber. That voice from the soles of his boots, so good. Okay, well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome wherever you are joining us around the world. It's great to be back here in Guildhall in the City of London. Those of you who are here, those of you that will remember, we were here for the Joshua Dubois press conference. What a fight, what a night that turned out to be. And we're only a couple of weeks removed from an iconic night in Riyadh. Artur Beterbiev became the undisputed world light heavyweight champion. This is just the kind of history being made by Riyadh season. That was a night, that was a fight that caused drama, that caused action, and that caused plenty of debate. And it also served as a bit of a reminder as to what Riyadh season is delivering. At the highest level of the sport, it's about the best versus the best. And that's what today is about. Today we formally launch another iconic event, December 21st, Usyk versus Fury 2. This is very much the best versus the best. Back in May, Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, they finally met. They met in a ring of fire to decide the first undisputed world heavyweight champion of the century. On December 21st, that ring of fire is reignited. Alexander Usyk gets the opportunity to rubber stamp his legacy, to do once again what he's already done. Tyson Fury gets the opportunity at redemption, and also to become a three-time world heavyweight champion. And thankfully, all of us get the opportunity to just watch it unfold. December 21st. Have a look at this top table here as well. I mean, it's what we expect from these Riyadh season events. It's just banger after banger. So many fantastic undercard fights, fighters with points to prove, statements to make, and some fighters who may well be the future of this sport. I want to open up by bringing in Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren. Frank will speak about the main event in the part two, but the undercard, you're sat next to what many are calling the future of the division. It's a brilliant undercard. Talk to us about it.
Well, it is, as you say, it's a brilliant undercard, and we've got the WBO World Youth Champion in Moses, who's done everything, and I mean everything that's been asked of him up to us yet. One of the most exciting young fighters I've ever been involved with, still a teenager. And this is a big step up for him, a massive step up. You know, his last fight, he stopped walking 2 rounds, and with Dempsey, he lost to Hrgovic, I think it was the last fight, over 12 rounds. And we all see Hrgovic in his last loss, or his first loss, I should say, against Daniel Dubois, which was for the interim world title. And you see how dangerous Ergovic was, but he went 12 rounds. We got to the 12th round with him. So this is a big step up for Moses, but we got confidence in him, we believe in him, and we believe that he, in time, will be the future of heavyweight boxing.
Thank you, Frank. Let's bring in Eddie Hearn. Eddie, this, again, the sort of undercard that we expect from these Riyadh season events. Plenty of interest from your side as well, with, of course, Peter McGrail taking on Dennis McCann and Johnny Fisher against Dave Allen. So much to talk about. Talk to us about it.
Thanks, Dev. Yeah, I mean, I think that even if we had no fighters on this card, we'd be there, because what we saw first time around was just one of the best fights I've ever seen live between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Really blessed and thankful to be given opportunities for our fighters on this card. And when you look at the three Matchroom guys on the card, I mean, Not Here Today, for me, is one of the best fights in the 154-pound division. Israel Madrimov against Sergey Bokacic, two guys that could have got the nod in their last fight against Terence Crawford and Virgil Ortiz, jumped straight in with each other. It's an incredible matchup. Johnny Fisher, you know, you talk about Moses Itauma, that's an outstanding talent. For me, those two guys there are the future of the heavyweight division in this country. Johnny Fisher, the biggest ticket seller in the country outside of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury right now. He's got a great fight against the ever-popular Dave Allen. It's a really tough fight and a good step up. And for me, one of the best fights that can be made in British boxing, which is Peter McGrail against Dennis McCann. You know, the number one, number two super bantamweights in the country, both world-class fighters, fighting for the British and European titles. And I think this is exactly what we need to see in the sport. The opportunity that I think both guys on this platform have to take, and we're the benefactors of that, seeing these great matchups. And I just want to say as well, I want to make sure that everybody and every fight fan tries to get themselves to Riyadh on December 21st. You know, we were there a couple of weeks ago for Bivol against Beterbiev. This place is incredible. I actually went last weekend to watch the tennis, to see the opening of the snooker academy there. The 167 snooker masters is on the same week as Fury Usyk. When people talk about the lack of you know, the atmosphere in Riyadh, if you would have seen the tennis last week, if you would have seen the snooker, if you would have seen Fury Usyk, the atmosphere is brilliant. And last time for Fury Usyk, the weigh-in, the press conference, the fight was electric. So we're all going to be working hard with Queensberry and Gold Star to make sure that it's accessible for UK fight fans. Johnny Fisher's going to be bringing out a huge army just on his own. But honestly, you have to come and experience this place. It's incredible. There's so much happening there. And let's create a night to remember for what is, I think, the biggest night of boxing in 2024 on December 21st.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Let's start speaking to the fighters. Lee McGregor against Usyk Lowe in the featherweight division. This is a fight that has been bubbling away. It's been on, it's been off, but now it's very much on. And I'd like to start with Lee McGregor here. And Lee, I heard you talk about this is the sort of night that you live for. This is everything, right? Huge stage, chance to finally put this rivalry with Usyk Lowe to bed.
Yeah, no, for sure, Dev. As you say, it's been bubbling for a long time. We were due to fight in December last year. Unfortunately, Al got injured. We rescheduled the date for early this year. For whatever reason, the fight never happened. Fortunately for the both of us, it's landed on this huge event, one of the biggest events that the world is going to see. So I'm just absolutely buzzing and ready to make a statement.
I watched your kind of digital face-off with Usyk Lowe from last year when this fight was first scheduled. All seemed pretty friendly, pretty amicable. And then I checked Twitter, and more recently there's things about Usyk Lowe saying he's going to put you to sleep and retire you. What's happened? What's gone wrong, Lee?
I don't know, honestly. This is what I mean. You don't know what you're getting with Usyk. So we'll see December the 21st. The talking stops. We get. It's just me and him in the ring. There's no entourage. There's no Tyson. There's nobody. It's just me and Usyk, and the best man will win. And I firmly believe that'll be me.
Well, let's bring in the Westgate Warrior, Usyk Lowe.
How do we do, people?
We're doing well, I'm doing well, I think the people are doing well, and we'll be doing very well when we see you on December 21st against Lee McGregor. It's a fight that you have wanted for some time. Tell us your thoughts heading into it.
Yeah, like Lisa just said there, it's been coming off for 12 months now, and we're finally going to settle the dust on December the 21st. I'm looking forward to it. It's a fight what we picked. We got a few names got mentioned to Spencer, and we picked on. We wanted Lee. We wanted Lee from last year with him pulling out. Obviously, he had an injury problem, but it's been 12 months in the making now, and I think I need to make a big statement in this fight, and I think Lee's the right person to do it again. So, yeah, just make sure you don't have no more injuries and just turn up on December the 21st.
Don't you worry.
Don't you worry.
Don't worry, son.
You should get down on your knees and suck my balls, so I'll give you the biggest chance in boxing.
Apologies for...
Sorry about that.
Let's try and keep it clean, please, fellas. Isaac, let me just ask you this. There was a comment from Lee McGregor, again on Twitter, where he talked about, if you want me to beat you up on your mate's undercard, I will gladly beat you up on that. That's, I guess, what he has the opportunity to do, but you've got to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, if he beats me up, he beats me up. I'm going to try and beat him up. So the good thing is we're going to go on. The winner of this fight is the fans. Whoever knows boxing knows me and Lee's style. We're going to go there, and he's going to punch the shit out of me, and I'm going to punch the shit out of him, and obviously there's got to be a winner. The good thing is we're going to get paid for it. I'm going to go back home to our family safe and well. And that's the most important thing, but there's only one winner, and there's only one outcome of this fight, and it goes however I want to go. Outbox him, stop him. So depends what mood I'm in.
Well, okay, apologies again for the language. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, anyone offended by a few stray words here and there. Lee McGregor, let me just get the final word from you on this fight. How's it going to go? What's going to happen? What's the plan December 21st?
Well, do you know what? Isaac he has proved himself. He's proved that he is a good fighter. You know, he's only lost at the top level twice. Both world champions, Nick Ball and Lopez. So I do feel like I'm going to go in here and make a statement and win this well and convincingly, however it may be.
Just don't take a backward step now when it comes to it. Don't back off. Stand and fight.
Well, this is the thing, Dave. I can win this fight any way I want. You know, people forget my amateur background. I've fought for GB. I've travelled the world. People in boxing know how good I really am. Sometimes I let my heart rule my head. But on December the 21st, we'll get it right. We'll get the job done, and we'll get it done in style, and I'll make a statement, like I say.
Thank you, Lee McGregor. Thank you, Isaac Lowe, as well. I told you, this one is bubbling away. They've wanted to fight each other for about a year. December 21st, they will do just that. All right, let's move to the super bantamweight division. As Eddie Hearn put earlier, one of the best fights that can be made right now in the division, Dennis McCann and Peter McGrail. Now, Dennis McCann brings in his British, Commonwealth and European titles, and Peter McGrail, simply one of the best amateurs this country's ever seen, and he's his mandatory. Let's speak first to Peter McGrail. Peter, I watched an interview with Dennis McCann the other day. He said, Peter, get ready, because you know who the man is. So, Peter, give us your thoughts, and who is the man?
I'm the man, Dev. He knows I'm the man. His team knows I'm the man.
Everyone in this room knows he's the man.
And I'm going to show you all December 21st who the boy is. So, yeah, that's it, Dev.
This is a fight that you've wanted for some time, right?
Yeah, it is. Obviously, he's got the belt, Annie, on the domestic scene, and, you know, he's a big name. He's Queensbury's little golden boy, and, you know, that finishes on December the 21st.
Well, let's bring in Queensbury's little golden boy, as you put there, Peter. Dennis, this is a great fight, fantastic against a British opponent who's very, very confident that he's going to do a number on you on December 21st. What are you thinking?
100%. Listen, action speaks louder than words. We see what happened to him before. He got sleeked by Jarrell Quinn, who in my eyes is a journeyman, really, to be honest with you.
Lad,
let me finish. I'm talking, 1 second.
He's better than your best.
Who's a journeyman, to be honest with you.
17-0, lad.
He's fought absolutely no one.
Lad, your best win.
He's an amateur.
You got beat off Baluta and got gifted a draw. You got gifted a draw off Baluta.
This is professional boxing. This is professional boxing.
17-0 he was, lad.
Shush, I'm talking.
Yeah.
All the us, and we get smacked straight in that chin.
Come on, we'll see.
He'll know then. This is professional boxing. You can't be ussy and running around like a chicken around the ring.
You can talk as much as you want, yeah. You're still going to get a beat down on December the 21st.
Yeah, well, listen, you should thank me you're even here, to be honest with you, because God knows how you even got here.
To be honest, I can't even
God knows
take
you
you
got
serious
here.
in that jacket, lad.
You've beaten absolutely no one. You stepped up once.
By my granddad for Crimbo.
Aye, you've stepped up once, you got sleeped. And you're going to get sleeped again December 21st, and I'll knock you straight out.
Right, Sam, we'll see, lad.
You're 28 years of age, now you're 29 years of age now.
Lad,
really, it's now or never, really, you know what I mean?
Who's 24, who's 23, at the end of the day, lad, we're going to fight December the 21st.
You're 28, 29 years of age, you know what I mean?
Not mumbling, lad, I can't even understand you.
Relax. All that tongue Italian, that shilling just making you very angry. Relax, brother. It's all good.
I'm good, me lad. I'm good. Don't worry.
You're going to get your little weapons. December 21st.
Sausage.
To be honest with you, I think it's the fight of the card. I think it's definitely going to be a great fight.
I don't think so, Dennis. Me and Lee is. I'm not having that.
Stylistically, it's a great fight. And stylistically, I think that his style, southpaw, I think it's my favourite type of style to fight. I think it's great. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a very entertaining fight, but I think it only goes one way, and that's Peter McGrail looking up off the canvas.
You box no one like me, lad.
I box no one like you. Give your head a wobble, brother, please.
You box no
please.
one like
Give
me.
yourself a few slaps in the face and wake yourself up.
You box no one like me.
Who have you beat?
December the 21st.
Who, brother? Who have you beat? Brad Foster never won a fight in 4 years.
I'm going to beat you December.
Mark Leach was fresh out the pub 2 weeks for the fight. Who have you beat?
I'm going to beat you December, lad.
Okay,
fellas.
You beat lad Baluta. You got gifted a win. You got gifted a draw.
I know you knocked... Baluta barely survived the 12 rounds.
You got gifted a draw, and then you couldn't even get him out of there. Put me in with Baluta, lad. You wouldn't last a few rounds.
You're fighting for my belt. It's your belt. You can bring that... You can bring that back with you to Liverpool, to be honest.
I'm dated for your belt, lad.
That belt is not with a fag to me. I wouldn't even wear that around my waist. You can keep that, to be honest with you.
I've
achieved more than you have, a 22-year-old, than you have in your whole career.
Okay, I'm just going to come in there. Thank you, Dennis and Peter. Between you, you've covered all of my questions. So we're going to move things on, Frank.
And you're missing an important thing. It's Queensbury v Matchroom again. So there's a lot at stake. So you can't let us down. You can't let us down.
Don't worry, man. I won't let you down. I ain't let you down before.
This is what this is all about. We've got to win this one. This is a big,
great
fight. Lot on the line, boys.
Great fight.
Brilliant fight. Super bantamweight division, British, Commonwealth and European titles on the line. Dennis McCann.
And still.
Peter McGrail. I'm sure Dennis
and
McCann and still. And we've heard and the new. Let's move things on to the heavyweights. To the heavyweight division. We've got a couple of absolutely brilliant fights here. Two of the most popular British heavyweights of the last few years, Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen, will now clash. They've flirted about fighting for a little while, and now it's finally going to happen. And I'm going to start with Dave Allen. Great to see you back, Dave. And this is a fight that I understand you knew would happen one day.
Yeah, first of all, just want to say how grateful I am to be on this show. Many times over the last even 10 years, didn't think I'd be involved in big fights ever. So to be back in on the stage like this, I'm very grateful and thankful to everyone involved. Secondly, me and Johnny are on very good terms. There'll be no back and forth with us. This will be a bit of a quieter one. But yeah, I always knew it would happen. The last few years, I was the first pro he sparred. And from that day, I knew that he'd do really well. We've kept in touch. And, the last 12, 18 months, he started to improve, get some good wins. And the trajectory that he was on, and the trajectory that I've been on, I knew that we'd meet somewhere in the middle. So it's a fight I wouldn't have taken if I didn't think I could win. It depends how good Johnny Fisher is. Being completely honest, if he is really, really, really good, I'm probably in trouble. But if he's not, I'm just the guy to beat him. So I'm looking forward to it, and may the best man win.
Well, let's bring in the Romford Bull, Johnny Fisher. Great to see you. If you're really, 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 really good, Dave Allen's in trouble. So how good are you?
Well, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. It's an honour and a privilege to be here, and these are the nights you dream of as a kid, to be on shows like this. So I'm very thankful as well as Dave is. And I don't know if I'm really, 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 really good, but I'm all right, and I can punch, and I train hard, and I'm fit, and I'm strong. And I've got to be all them things to beat Dave Allen. I know what it's like sparring with Dave Allen. We sparred 5 years ago when I was 19, 20 years old. And he gave me a bit of a pasting, if I'm being honest, but I knew that day when I walked out of that gym, I've got the minerals of what it takes to be a heavyweight boxer. And I've learnt a lot in that time with Mark Tibbs, Jimmy Tibbs, Sonny Cannon in the gym. And now it's about showing and expressing them skills. And if I'm not on it, and if I don't show what I'm about, Dave Allen's the sort of bloke who can get into the fight. He can wing them in, he's clever, he's cute, and I've got to be 100% on it. The pressure's on me in this fight, I know that. I say I've been more active, but Dave Allen's actually fought more rounds than me this year. I've fought a total of 1 round because I've had 2 first-round knockouts. So it's up to me to get about and set about Dave. He might be my mate, but when we come to the 21st of December, I'm going to give it 110%, and I'm sure he'll be doing the same.
What are your advantages, Johnny?
I'm fresher. I'm a 25-year-old young man. I can punch, and I've got a great corner. And boxing, you can have all them physical attributes. You can be fit and strong, but mentally in your head, that's the most important thing. And I think I'm made of strong stuff, and I'm waiting for that day to prove it. And if Dave's up for it, and if he's on it, I think he'll have to try and bring that out of me. So I'm prepared for any eventuality in this fight. That's my strength.
Well, Dave Allen, I understand this fight's been presented before. You might have mentioned it there, and you waited because you wanted to be ready. So what makes this version of Dave Allen ready, not just to come and give it a go and give us all a good show, but to actually beat Johnny Fisher, to upset Eddie Hearn?
Yeah, this is my last chance, really. I've said that about 8 times, but I think this actually might be the last one. Yeah, I'm stubborn, you know, that's what I am, really. There's nothing really special about me at all. I'm not fast, I don't punch that hard, but I'm just stubborn, really. I've been around forever. I've sparred everyone, I've boxed everyone. I'm just stubborn, yeah. So, like, from round 1 to 10, I'm going to be there. So, yeah, as I've said before, like, it really depends on how good he is. If he's the real deal, like I said, I'm in trouble. If he's not, I will beat him. I've proven that in the past. And, of course, it is my last chance. I've been guilty in the past of probably not putting 100% in, but I know this is the one. It's like when I boxed David Price. You know, I was the young kid coming through, and you know, and now I guess I'm in the last chance saloon. And realistically, really, this was the most winnable fight out of all of the fights I could have had. You know, he is still a baby. So yeah, I really do think the best version of myself wins this fight. I've got to train hard, and I've got to get a bed the right side that day. But if I do that, I have no doubts at all that I win this fight. So yeah, I really genuinely have no doubts at all. I know how good I can be. I just hope that I've not missed the boat, really, in terms of taking it serious. But having 2 kids, it's really switched me on. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I want to give it my best.
Thank you, Dave. Final one to you, Johnny. Looking forward to a big Chinese in Riyadh?
100%. I hope everyone's there. We're going to get some sweet and sour chicken balls in. We'll get some crispy aromatic duck. But aside from that, Dave is a mate, really. I'm on good terms with him. But when that bell goes, I'm going to give it 110%. And he's fighting, as he said, for his kids, for his family. I don't have any kids of myself, but I've got a family at home, and I'm fighting every time I get in that ring to give them a better life. So I've got just as much motivation as anyone else on this table.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you, Johnny Fisher. Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen, brilliant fight, heavyweight fight coming up on the undercard. Well, the next one is truly a heavyweight fight. There's a man here sat next to Frank Warren, seen by many as the future of the heavyweight division in Moses Itauma. But he takes on Dempsey McKean, who is by far, on paper, the toughest test of his career, and very much has his own ambitions to become a world champion. Let's begin with Dempsey McKean. Moses has been calling you out. He's been calling your name for a little while. Why do you think he's been doing that?
Look, he's probably in the position where he wants to step up, you know, and that's exactly what he wants to do. So I think he said he called out numerous people and tried to get a bite. And, you know, we've been dying for a fight for a long time. You know, I've been out of the ring since the Hergovich fight. It's been just over a year. We've been in the gym every day. We've been prepping for fights. Some fights have fallen through. So it's not like I'm coming off the couch. I'm in good stead. I'm in good shape. And, you know, he's got a world rank, and I lost my world rankings after my recent loss. So what better way to take out the number 6 in the WBO and take his position and climb my shot back up at another title.
Well, the narrative around all of Moses' fights so far have been about, can this guy test him? Can he get rounds in? How's he going to look compared to this guy? But you are very much a heavyweight, only 1 loss on your record in the final round against Hergovich. You've got your own ambitions. Tell us about them.
Yeah, definitely. I see myself as still a contender. You know, another good win is going to chuck me straight back in the mix, and world-rated heavyweight in the top 10, and someone is starting to get a bit of hype behind him as well. So what better way to test myself? If I can't beat Moses, then I'm not going to beat the top guys. So.
And do you think the hype's real?
Yeah, look, he's got a good skill set. He's young, he's immature, he's inexperienced, he's only 19, you know, so we're looking to capitalise on a few of those things. So, but he's a good, fast southpaw. There's no doubt in my mind that he's a good fighter, and like I said, he's got a good skill set. So, but we're going to come in with a good game plan, and as long as we execute that, we're going to come away with our hand raised.
Well, let's speak to Moses Itauma. Dempsey McKean is here, confident, ready to take you on December 21st. You've been mentioning his name for a while. Why?
To be fair, Joe, I want to start off by saying thank you for everyone for coming out. And I would also like to say thank you to Dempsey McKean for obviously taking this fight. Like I have stated before, since my fight with Marius Wack, I've literally called out everybody and anybody. And Dempsey McKean happened to be one of the guys that I called out. And obviously he's accepted the fight, and I'm happy. I'm happy because this is the step up I wanted. This is the step up I need. And I feel like a KO win with Dempsey McKean could definitely put me up there.
Do you think he can test you? Do you think this is the guy?
100%. How can he not? Like, literally, his only loss was to Filip Hrgovic, what was in the last round. So I believe that this is a good fight for me. And I'm just happy to get back in there. Like, I haven't boxed for like so it seems like forever. And I just want to get back in the ring, you know. And against Dempsey McKean, I can really test myself, see how far I can go.
He says you're inexperienced. I think he's probably right there, although you've been boxing as an amateur for many years as well. But he's seen things he can capitalise on. What do you think about that?
Listen, we'll see when we get in there. Like, obviously, a lot of people do think that. And that's probably why people kind of take the fight against me. They're like, oh, he's inexperienced, he ain't done this, he ain't done that. I've been boxing since more than half my life. I'm not exactly like, do you know what I mean? So I feel like expect something big, I guess.
Dempsey, is this too much too soon for Moses Itauma?
Yeah, look, they've been saying they wanted to step up, yeah? So what better opportunity than to, you know, have a step up and try and let's see what kind of medal he's got as well. So you've got to give your hat off to him. 19 years old, taking on a good contender. Like I said, only losses to Filip Hrgovic. And, you know, you've got to give him his flowers where they're due. So, but I think it's probably too soon for him. I'm feeling confident coming in. Too big, too strong, too much experience, and yeah, it's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good fight regardless, you know. Like I said, he's a crafty southpaw, and I think it's going to be a great fight.
I just wanted to say, Dempsey, you're meant to feel like that. You are meant to feel like that. Listen, I don't want to fight you if you think that you're going to get in and you're going to lose. I want you to have that attitude of, I'm going to go in and I'm going to win.
Of course, I'm not here like majority of the other opponents, just happy to come in, collect a paycheck, you know. I'm coming in with a full camp under my belt, good condition, training specifically for you as well.
Good. And that's only going to bring the best out of us, and we can obviously display that for the fans. Listen, I'm excited. I'm excited to share the ring.
Get it on.
I'm excited too. Thank you, Dempsey. Moses, just a final one to yourself. I can't ignore that you are sat next to Johnny Fisher. Both of you are seen really as the future of British heavyweight boxing and beyond. I saw you do an interview the other day saying, why would he fight a 19-year-old who could potentially end his career? Tell us more about that, and how does it feel to be sat next to the rump?
I kind of feel like he's not done this on purpose, because he is Eddie's man, and he was like, you know, let's sit him next to Moses Itauma. Listen, I think Johnny Fisher's improved since he's turned pro. Listen, I don't hate the man. Obviously, I've sparred him before. Obviously, me and Johnny have had a few conversations. Listen, I don't hate the man, but I feel like, listen, the fight will always be there on the table if you ever want it. And one day, we'll have it. Maybe a Chinese after or something.
I agree. We didn't get that Chinese in when we meant to a few years back. But listen, I will fight anyone. Anyone out there, I will fight. What they've got to realise is my value of what I bring to the table. But listen, I think I'm not a Man City. I'm not an AC Milan. I'm not a Liverpool. But I am a cold night away in Stoke. And to beat me, you've got to pull your socks up and put your shin pads on to beat me. But listen, Moses Itauma, a great talent. I've got so much respect for him. And that is a massive fight for the British public down the line. And I think that can happen.
Presumably you agree, Moses. Big fight.
100%. Honestly.
What are you ordering from the Chinese, though, if we go after? What's your order?
Oh, we'll see when we get there.
Right, lovely.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone at this top table. That concludes part one of today's two-part press conference. We're going to get some face-offs now down the front. Thank you.
So there you have it. Our undercard press conference is wrapping up, and now the fighters about to go face-to-face for some stare-downs. I'm Todd Grisham, Barry Jones, and Andy Lee. We'll check in with Liv in just a few minutes. She's going to be doing some interviews right now. But as expected, the most entertaining member on stage had to be Johnny Fisher, right?
Yeah, listen, Johnny knows who he is, and he said there, you know, I'm not an AC Milan, I'm not a Barcelona, but I'm a cold night away at Stoke, and that means, you know, he hasn't got maybe the ability on paper as people like most of the time. He's a tough man to beat. So when you're in the ring with him, you know you're in a scrap.
Conference. Dennis McCann had a lot to say. Isaac Lowe had a lot to say. Yeah. The heavyweights were more respectful. Maybe they're being a little bit, you know, a little more. Maybe they know there's danger there when they're punching so hard. But the lightweight guys, they were letting all hang out. Yeah.
What do you think is going to be the fight of the night?
Oh, I still think it's going to be McGann versus Peter McGrail. I think that's a brilliant clash of styles. It really is. Now, McGrail is one of Great Britain's best amateurs in the last few years. He's been brilliant. He didn't quite make the grade in the Olympics, but European gold medalist, absolute, you know, a brilliant fighter. So technically, the Scouse Lomachenko they called him. His footwork is so sublime. But against
the Scouts, does that mean Manchester? He's from Manchester?
Oh, don't start.
Yeah, you got to explain it. You can't throw these crazy words we don't understand.
You've been here long enough to understand that. Liverpool.
Right.
The Scouts, the Liverpool Lomachenko. But also you got to remember with Dennis McCann, who's a really evolving fighter, can punch hard, has a nasty attitude. You know, if McGrail makes a mistake, he doesn't get a second chance.
They sounded Irish to me up there.
Yeah.
Did you get? Am I crazy?
You needed subtitles for that. I think a lot of the guys at home would have needed subtitles. But yeah, it's a really skillful fight. Those two. No, as I said earlier, like last week in Saudi with Bivol and Beterbiev, all these undercard fights are entertaining, and they'll all just whet the appetite for the main event, which is obviously the big one, Tyson and Usyk.
All right, so
scheduled in the super featherweight division.
So here come some of the face-offs. These men were certainly entertaining on stage. Who has the edge in this matchup, Barry?
I mean, size-wise, you'd say Isaac Lowe's boxed at a higher weight, but for quality-wise, he has to be Lee McGregor. I think, you know, even though Isaac Lowe's only lost to two guys who won a world title and did certainly against Lopez, I was at ringside. He boxed really well against a guy who just was too heavy-handed for him. And Nick Ball, the wrecking machine, you know, he really unravelled there, Isaac Lowe. But Lee McGregor has beaten quality fighters. Maybe not as high as world level, but European level at super bantamweight and bantamweight, he was very, very dominant. He had a really close fight against Kash Farouk, who was another brilliant fighter who had to retire, unfortunately. But you know, he's a real class operator who likes to come forward. Isaac Lowe probably better footwork, move around a bit, but he likes to fight as well. So I think this is a really exciting fight, Andy.
The only unquantifiable thing in that fight is the bad blood that's between them and how that plays in, and who can keep their temper and hold their nerve and keep their cool when they're under fire. Isaac is a hothead, but he always comes to fight. He'll try to box, but as soon as he gets tagged, he'll just go right back to fighting. So that should be a lively contest.
So now the one that seems to have the most juice.
McGrail, Dennis the Menace McCann, 12 rounds scheduled for the British, Commonwealth, and EBU Super Bantamweight Championships.
McCann versus McGrail, they both act like this is a bygone conclusion that each of them is going to win respectively. It should be a 50-50 fight.
Yeah, and do you know what's been good about here? McGrail's had to come back from a defeat, a knockdown, where he was boxing really well. We were there in Phoenix, ringside that night, where he's boxing really well and got caught. And for McGann, he had the draw against Baluta, who's always a banana skin for anybody, where he was quite lucky to get the draw, I thought, let's be honest. But they've both regrouped from that. So this is a fight where the guys are so full of confidence in their own ability.
Yeah, McCann's got the more experience as a pro. But McGrail, as an amateur, will have that grade and technical ability. You can see these guys don't like each other as well. And both guys are based in Liverpool, trained just around the corner from each other. So there will be a lot of local pride involved as well.
And arguably both coming off their best win. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, McGrail looked sensational in Phoenix until he didn't in that fight.
And even against Brad Foster in his last fight, Brad Foster's a good fighter, but the way he got rid of him with a beautiful body shot, so showing that he's had a bit of power to his ability. But McGann is a real dangerous fighter.
The Romford Bull Fisher, 10 rounds scheduled in the heavyweight division.
So from two fighters that seem to hate each other to two fighters that are mates, what do you prefer, Andy? Did you like fighting someone you liked or disliked?
I think I'd like to fight somebody I liked.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I'm not a confrontational guy, really. That's just personal. But this fight has 2-round war written all over it. I think both of these guys are going to go out there. They only know one way. That's going forward, swinging their hands, big bombs, and whoever can hold up. We've seen Alan beat, but he's got a good chin. We don't know how good Johnny Fisher's chin is yet, but he might get tested on this in this fight.
I'm not a confront. You were knocking people off for fun, like when you were boxing. Not very confrontational, but you're knocking people off just for the laugh.
Dempsey,
I think this is really good matchmaking. I do.
And Moses Itauma, 10 rounds scheduled in the heavyweight division.
This is also good matchmaking. I think Itauma, who's an absolute maverick, I think, for such a big guy, he moves like a lightweight, punches like a heavyweight. But Dempsey McKean showed against Hrgovic, give Hrgovic a bit of trouble, I thought. When he's strong, he's aggressive, he's got a good work rate. All those things can cause Itauma problems. It's just the angles that he comes at the most of the time. That I don't know how Dempsey's going to cope with that. He might be just
McKean's advantage in this fight will be his unorthodox style. He's a former kickboxer, has years of kick, so he does things that traditionally not used to seeing as a boxer, where Moses is so well schooled, so well drilled. That's McKean's advantage. He's got to play into that, be awkward, and try to upset Itauma.
Well, we're going to take a quick break before we bring out our main event opponents. Of course, Usyk versus Fury 2. The press conference when we return. You're watching DAZN, the world leader in boxing.
Hey, listen up. Let's have it. We know you've always got your eye on the prize, the championship belt. And why wouldn't you? You're a finely tuned, well-oiled boxing watching machine, capable of consuming over 150 fights on DAZN every year.
We've gone big, we've gone global.
Churning through combinations, comebacks, and non-stop knockouts. Where are you? With big fights every week, you're the best in the world. So go on, get that belt, champ. DAZN, undisputed.
And we welcome you back to Guildhall in downtown London, England, as we count down the minutes until Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk step on the stage. My name is Todd Grisham, Barry Jones, Andy Lee. I had the pleasure of hosting the face-to-face just a few minutes ago downstairs. It got pretty exciting, and you're going to see Alexander Usyk's new look. He shaved his head. He's got a suit on. He looks like a professional assassin. I think he's all business this time around. What do you think about Usyk and this rematch?
Yeah, well, what we have here is the two most adaptable fighters in the division. So you tend to think they learn from the last fight and come into the second fight better for it. But still, they're both going to be better for it. So it's hard for him. Usyk is... No, he's been brilliant. As a cruiserweight, he suffocated the space with that front foot. He bullied you. He made you work hard, and when you're tired, he went to work. He does the same thing as a heavyweight, but with more guile because he hasn't got the physical presence. So he makes you work hard, but it's with the feet, but he moves around the target with that little semicircle around the body. He uses that to make you work, and he darts in and out, and he makes you panic. The bigger guys panic, makes him miss, and that tires him out. Then he goes to work a little bit in the second half of the contest. Fury can fight so many different ways. I mean, the Fury of late has been a bit more a heavier-handed, flat-footed, and more aggressive. And he's done well at that, but he still can, as we saw in the first fight, can get on his toes, can be light with his feet, light with his hands, and fast. So, for me, I think the Fury who's been more aggressive is the better fighter in this contest. He needs to, when he had Usyk in trouble a few times, he never put his foot on the gas. He just let him off the hook. He coasted. And I think that allowed Usyk the chance to recover and come back and have that great 9th round and then just nick the fight.
Why didn't he go for the gusto when he had Usyk in trouble a few times, do you think, Andy?
Fitness, preparation. He went into the camp and the fight with a cut over his eye. If people remember back, the first fight, which was original, was rescheduled, cancelled and rescheduled because he suffered a cut in training. And then he had a 10 million bounty on his eye. He had this deal where if he pulled out, he would have to confiscate 10 million pounds or dollars, I'm not sure which one it was. And so he couldn't risk it, not just for that reason, but also for pride. He couldn't allow himself to pull out of a fight. He couldn't risk sparring because his eye was so fragile. So that tells in the fight. he had to box a certain way where he had to manage his energy and try to keep Usyk at bay, boxing. He was out boxing him all the way, but people forget that how close this fight was because of we only see this highlight. This is what we see all the time. Whenever people think about Usyk Tyson, they think about this knife round, and it is a great round, and it's so dramatic. But they forget about from maybe round 2 to round 9, Tyson dominating the fight, boxing beautifully, and possibly winning the last 2 rounds. It was a very close fight. Whatever, Usyk got the win, but believe me, come the rematch, December 21st, you're going to see a different Tyson Fury.
Do you think this fight looks like the first one? It goes 12 rounds, it's back and forth, or do you think there's going to be a more dominating performance?
I think Fury has to be more aggressive. That's what I feel. He's the bigger guy. He's shown that when he was being offensive, when he was being the bully, he was having, especially in those early rounds, he was having the most success. So I think he can do that. And if the fitness was an issue and he can maintain that, then he can hurt Usyk. He can. But Usyk also, you got to be careful. You make a mistake with Usyk. He's so light on his feet. He has such a good boxing brain. And he's so adaptable that he can slip inside and make you pay for your mistakes. So they've both got. Concentration takes more out of you physically than throwing any punch. To concentrate for 3 minutes of every round is the most exhausting thing you can do. And in a fight like this with 2 really good boxing brains, easily the 2 best boxing brains in the heavyweight division, the concentration is what drains you the most. So you have to put the guy under pressure. And Usyk, I think, for the second half of the fight, mainly did that to Fury. In the first half of the fight, it looked like Fury was controlling it for me, but then the tide turned. So I think you tend to think always in a fight like this, where you've got 2 adaptable fighters, you always go for the bigger guy. This is a hard one to call again. It really is, because you can't. As much as it was only 1 round, that 9th round was the difference between winning and losing for Tyson Fury. And a different referee and a different situation, he doesn't let the ropes held him up, and that is technically a knockdown, so he's in the rules. But I know other referees would allow Usyk to carry on punching, so that's all that plays into this fight. But you still, I might regret saying this, still fancy Fury like I did in the first one.
You've been chomping at the bit.
No. Barry makes a lot of great points, and I agree with a lot of what he said. The concentration is the biggest thing in these fights. Whoever can stay on it and not take breaks, physically or mentally, will win the fight. But when you haven't sparred, that's where you build up that concentration level, the ability to stay focused in every round and not take breaks. Taking breaks in fights is what loses you a fight eventually, and that's what happened in the 9th round. Tyson just came off the ropes, threw a little shimmy of uppercuts, the next thing he's, boom, punch out of nowhere, and he's reeling. The ropes holding him up. The only thing I would say about the referee in the fight, it's the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, and you want to give both guys every chance to finish the fight. You know, if it's a conclusive knockout, if it's an undercard fight, maybe that fight gets stopped. But because it's such a high fight, such a high-profile fight, I thought the ref did a great job. And yeah, so listen, Usyk knows he can hurt Tyson. That'll be a big factor going into the rematch. You'll expect him to be better because of that. He'll be bouncing because of that. Where Tyson knows he can be a lot better. To me, that was probably not even 50% of Tyson, really.
Well, to be fair, playing a little devil's advocate, I might agree with you on that last fight. He's declining a little bit. If he hadn't just been knocked down by Francis Ngannou, a fight that looks even worse after what AJ did to him. So, Barry, is this just a declining former champion, and he's just going to get worse and worse?
See, the problem with decline is because boxers nowadays, especially heavyweights, don't box often enough, then you can't really see the pattern. But if you look at except for that last fight against Usyk, where I thought Fury boxed really well, even though he struggled at the end. Go on, Hans.
Have you seen Ngannou in person? Have you been beside him?
Yes.
If he hits you anywhere, he's putting you down. What Ngannou did so good here was that he was cautious. He was clever. They had a good plan. With AJ, he was ambitious, which went totally against him. And he just walked straight into a punch.
But whichever way you
different fights.
Andy, whichever way you sell it, I do understand that. And Fury went in there thinking this was an easy fight, because it should have been. No, he still made the best heavyweight on the planet suffer. He did, I think, but if you look at Fury, except for the last Usyk fight, when was his last great performance? It wasn't Wilder 3, which was a brilliant fight. It was Wilder 2, which is February 2000. So you're talking all the other fights there. No, Dillian White was past his sell-by date, in my opinion. Chisora was what it was. Ngannou was a novice. So when you think about it, there is a show of a slow decline in his performances. I mean,
these are the questions. Is Fury over the hill? or is he just not fit enough in that last fight with Usyk? These are the
Fair
questions
enough.
he will have to answer.
If anything, Andy, I think he showed it better. He looked really good I thought, in the Usyk fight, except the fitness.
This is what I think about the fight, and I think it's a perfect. We've got an incredible story here in Tyson, from being born premature, doctors said he was lucky to be alive, to turning out being the 6'9" slick boxer, winning the world title against Klitschko, going to Germany, beating him when no one gave him a chance, then falling into depression, addiction issues, going to obesity, 28 stone.
So he's not.
Loses the weight, comes back, fights Wilder, gets up in the 10th round, in the 10th round, 12th round, like the Undertaker, comes back, beats Wilder again. Now he's lost his first time against Usyk. Okay, a great champion, and Usyk deserved to win. But what's a better redemption arc than coming back and winning the rematch?
Hey, I agree, but
legend.
Let's shed a little light on Usyk. We've been a Fury heavy so far. What is it about Usyk that made him successful in that first fight, and can he do it again?
Yeah, well, he makes you work hard. So he's always a presence for you, and I think, like I said, that semicircle on the body, he uses that. So he darts in here with his foot, he darts in there. He's a constantly moving target, so he's feinting all the time, and all that does is put you under pressure consistently, constantly. So you're tiring all the time, and none of his punches he doesn't load up with any shots. I mean, he can continuously throw, but because he turns from the hips and the shoulders, there's weight in every shot. So there's not one shot's a knockout punch. But every shot drains you, every shot's accurate on the button, so it tires you out. You can't get out the way of the shots. He's a lighter fighter, but what he does, he makes you tired before he goes to work, and he does that with the feet.
Feints, control distance, that's what he does so well. And he has angles. He's a master boxer, and the biggest attribute he has, outside of everything physical, is what's up here in his mind. He's so strong. Going into that round 9 against Fury, he looked a little bit lost. You could see the expression in his eyes, but he found it somewhere. Same with AJ, when AJ had that great roll, back in the second fight, round 8 and 9.
Yeah, round 10 is
right around that time. Yeah. He sat on his stool, he said a prayer, he got up, and he had it in there. And that's the challenge for Tyson as well. Fighting somebody who he's never had, Tyson's always had the bounce on people. He's always put the bounce on him. At these press conferences, he plays them like a fiddle. I call him the puppet master. Yeah. He's not been able to do that with Usyk. And it'll be interesting how this plays out here today. Whether Tyson will give him a lot or not give him a lot. It'll be interesting how it plays out. But now Tyson, that's the challenge. It's up here where fights are won and lost, more so than the physical.
Well, I'm being told the fighters are just a couple of minutes away from getting on the stage, but if you haven't heard, Riyadh season exclusively produced by DAZN, the home of boxing.
Everything about this event spells big time, and the potential impact on both sports, boxing and mixed martial arts.
It's that first punch that lands dictates who's going to win.
Who is the baddest man on the planet?
Unbelievable scenes.
Greatest fight card, I would say, in the history of the sport.
This has been a light bulb moment.
10 boxers from the top 15. That's extraordinary.
Atmosphere building here in the Kingdom Arena.
This one should be a thriller here in Saudi Arabia.
Carlos Alcaraz.
The city at a standstill. At a sold-out Kingdom Arena, the fans hold their breath for a glimpse of their heroes.
In this competition, no one have the golden ball. The next competition, we will double it for 1 million.
Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou.
It is Godzilla against King Kong.
Yes, it's a perfect matchup for a great fight.
It is lights out! Anthony Joshua!
When I've got through with the rabbit, then we go down for AJ.
Here we are, back in the Kingdom, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for the big one. It is the undisputed heavyweight title fight.
Once you win the Olympic gold, that's one gold that you've won. Now it's time for the undisputed. It's just another step.
What Usyk has done there is incredible. He will go down as one of the greatest of all times.
We're back in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It is the home of big-time boxing. We're ripping up the traditional boxing script. And we're doing something different, promoter versus promoter. This is our first Riyadh season event international. Your first one in America, in LA. The crowd like it. Are we coming back?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
The highest attendance ever for a British boxing event.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? One more time, do a good fight, yes? People! Go!
Riyadh season delivering each and every time, huge event after huge event, but none bigger than the one we're going to see December 21st, the rematch between that man, the challenger now, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, as he faces off against Alexander Usyk, the unified champ, no longer technically undisputed because of boxing politics, does not go down that wormhole, but he is the unified heavyweight champion after beating Tyson back in May. The same venue, Kingdom Arena, the place we'll be heading in December. Let's look at the current Ring Magazine top 10 heavyweight rankings. Good to see Fabio Wardley get some love there at number 9. But Andy, the top 10 in boxing right now is just so fun. There's so many great matchups that can be made. Reminds me back of the 90s.
Yeah, and listen, we're seeing these fights get made with Riyadh season being involved. And these guys could all fight each other. And, you know, Tyson might be Usyk, Usyk might be Zhang, Zhang might be Caballel, but Caballel might be Tyson. You know, you just don't know how it's going to play out. It's, you know, they could have a round robin and we could have some great fights here. And these fights are happening. You know, my man Joseph and Tyson, I think they're the best too, but we'll wait and see.
Who do you want to see Parker in against? Caballel, I think that's the fight that me and Barry were loving for a while.
Yeah, listen, Joe is ready to fight anybody. We'd obviously like to fight Dubois. Yeah. He's got the belt. Every fighter wants to fight for the world title, and that's the only one that's available now, not tied up with a fight like these two. So we'd like to fight Dubois, but Caballel is a great fighter. Bakoli's a great fighter.
How about Bakoli, Barry? I can't wait to see him back in action.
You were saying that you were saying that he can beat him, he can beat that. I was thinking Bakoli could beat them all. Yeah. Potentially. No, he's looked absolutely phenomenal, hasn't he? Such a big guy, who struggled a bit with fitness and managing a fight, but no, you think he's got it right. When he comes in at the right weight, which is. It's heavy.
He's still big.
Heavy.
What is it?
No, but he has to be. I think him being big is a plus for him. But I mean, not as big as he was in Saudi, of course. But there's some really good fights there. Joe Parker and Caballel are probably out of all the heavyweights benefited most from the Riyadh season. I think they've richly ignited their careers now. They talked about genuine world-class, world championship material. Where Joseph Parker, being a former world champion, seemed to slip down in people's minds for a while. But he luckily bumped into this trainer guy, this guy who trains him now, who's a bit of a decent trainer, and the mindset has changed, hasn't it, Andy? With him, he believes in himself, doesn't he, more than ever?
Riyadh season coming along, and these fights in Saudi Arabia coincided with me and Joseph training together. Joseph also hooking up with George Lockhart, and the three of us together are unbelievable. Like I think we're the best team in boxing. It's so small, our circle. We work so hard and so well together, and he's benefited from it. You know, everyone's done well out of these fights. Maybe Dubois is the only one to top Joseph but Joe's had three fights. Simon Keane, a good win, knockout, then a great win over Wilder, and a great win over Zhang. Those are two signature wins, and you'd have to give Dubois the same with a win over Herkovich and now Joshua. So that's the fight that should be made. The two informed fighters.
The one name we didn't mention, Anthony Joshua, he's in that list, but kind of where does he go from here? Everyone's saying he's going to fight Dubois in the rematch, but who's to say that doesn't go the exact same way, Barry?
Well, very well white, but I think just because you get beat, don't mean you can't fight again. I think we all go about everyone's protecting their own, people are protecting their undefeated record. Let's fight the best, and when they get beat, they go, oh, that's the end of it. We should retire. Listen, he's earned enough money and he's achieved enough to retire, never box again. But you love the sport. It gets to a point where you've earned so much money. I don't know this, apparently. But either way, whatever you achieve, you're in it for the love. You just want to do it. It defines who you are. But what else are you going to do? Anyway, I say this again. Anyone seen that when Cotto boxed Canelo, and his wife said, that's enough. And he just said this, he was crying. He just said to his wife, but it's all I know. So it defines who you are. So Joshua will carry on. And he's still competitive. He can still be a good fighter. And he can still beat some of those guys in there. I don't think he ever beats Fury. I don't think he ever beats Usyk. And Dubois might beat him again. But I mean, he's athletic. He can punch. He's got experience. He's always going to be a danger. So while he's around, he can still have fights, he can still be competitive, he can still potentially win a world title.
Back to the man that beat him twice. That's Alexander Usyk, apparently being told he's maybe playing some mind games right now because Tyson Fury is lined up ready to walk out, but the Ukrainian is nowhere to be found. And I can assure you he is here because I just spoke to him about 45 minutes ago. But it's interesting because he told me, listen to me, sounding like I'm important. Usyk told me moments ago that he does not think this fight goes the distance either way. He thinks one of them will win by knockout this time. And he's not the kind of guy that makes predictions.
No, well, he was hurt against Fury. Let's not forget, we forget that. He was hurt against Tyson Fury, showed the bravery to push through it. And Fury was clearly hurt. We all seen that in the 9th round, which gets played all the time. So they both know they can hurt each other. And I think they both know, don't let him off the hook this time. They both might be thinking that way. So I think, you know, they're potentially going to go in there with a bit more spite. And that's, for us, that's a great result. We want to see that.
I think Usyk is the type of guy where he doesn't take any of these things seriously. You know, I think everything he says has a pinch of salt, or it's like, you know, a wry smile behind it. He's, I think he just wants to come here and do his job and get back to his training camp. So I'm not sure if you can take anything, if there's anything he can say that you will take seriously. You know, he'd probably come out here and he's likely to do anything, joke around, be serious, or, you know, do a Rubik's Cube or something crazy like that while he's on.
Old Rubik's Cube.
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
That's older than you, Barry.
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
Yeah. This fight couldn't go either way, and anyway, really. They both hurt each other, as Barry said.
Do you think Tyson taunts as much as he did? He told, listen to me again, he just told me he's never taunted anyone that much, and he doesn't know why he did it. But I was saying during the fight to Barry, do you think he's almost masking, maybe
he's managing the fight, yeah, he's buying himself time. That's what it looked like to me. I'm in the corner, and he was boxing well and buying time to me, because Usyk was pressuring him, and he knew somewhere in his mind, you could see it a bit, to me, you could see it before the fight in his eyes. Subconsciously, he was worried about the eye. He hadn't sparred, he knew he hadn't sparred. How can you go into the biggest fight of your career against the best boxer you've ever faced and not spar? Yeah. And then be confident going into it. And do it, but he did so well for so most of it, but eventually it takes its toll and it shows in the end.
Well, I'm being told I can't contractually say this unless I quote him, it's the let's get ready to rumble time as we send it to the stage and Mr. Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Guildhall, London, England, the site of 600 years of history, and tonight, another moment in history, as Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, with Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Bob Arum's Top Rank Boxing, Gold Star Promotions, Gypsy King, K2 Promotions, and Sella will proudly present on December 21st, the rematch the world has been waiting for. And this is for the universally recognized heavyweight championship of the world. And it's all sponsored by Saudi Tourism Authority, Saudi National Bank, STC, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, New Muraba Development Company, Tahwonia, Lucid Motors, and Al Tanfiti. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as always, our gratitude and special thanks to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and thanks to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and the chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. That's right. Seated on stage behind me, ladies and gentlemen, for this special press conference, Mr. Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions. For Bob Arum's Top Rank Boxing, Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Brad Jacobs. Manager for Tyson Fury and Head of Gold Star Promotions, Spencer Brown. The Head of K2 Promotions, Alexander Krasiuk. And representing Alexander Usyk, his manager, Egis Klimas. And Usyk's head trainer, Sergey Lapin. And also on board for Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn. Well, ladies and gentlemen, You've met the folks that are going to tell you more about this fight, but let's meet the challenger and champion, the stars of the show for the rematch. First, the challenger, and then to the champion. To the stage first, his professional record, 34 victories, 24 wins by knockout, only 1 defeat with 1 draw. From the United Kingdom, the former lineal and 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. Two-time world champion, the challenger officially for this next one, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the defending champion. His professional record, 22 fights, 22 victories, 14 wins by knockout. From Ukraine, the former cruiserweight world champion, the reigning, defending, undefeated, universally recognized heavyweight champion of the world, Alexander Usyk. Here he is, the reigning and defending, universally recognized heavyweight world champion, Alexander Usyk. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our host, Mr. Dev Sani.
Thank you, Michael Buffer. Let's hear it for Michael Buffer, by the way. Big fight feels when Michael Buffer is in town. We know it's about to go down. Okay, well, let's actually want to start this whole press conference. There's a lot of promoters, managers and trainers up here. I actually want to start by hearing from the challenger heading into December 21st. I want to hear from Tyson Fury. And Tyson, this is the first time in a long time you've been the hunter, not the hunted. First time in a long time you're the underdog, not the favourite. And first time ever you head into a fight with a loss on your record. Tell us what is going on in the mind of the Gypsy King.
It's actually been about 4.5 years. Was the Wilder 2 fight last time I was the underdog in these fights. What's going through my mind? I'm just looking forward to a fantastic fight. You know, last time in May it was a fantastic fight. Alexander won the fight fair and square. Just looking to put on a great fight again. You know, it was very close last time. He got it by a point. A little bit more focus, a little bit more lack of complacency, and I should do the job, what I need to do. You know, it's nothing drastic has to change, a bit more the same, a little bit more focus, like I say, and I will be victorious.
Thank you, Tyson. Let's get an opening word from Alexander Usyk. Alexander, you have been undisputed in 2 weight divisions. You have achieved your goal. You have climbed the top of the mountain. What is your motivation heading into this rematch with Tyson Fury on December 21st?
Hi everybody, thank you so much. I'm happy to be here, here. What is my motivation? I don't have motivation. Only my regime, only my concentration. This is my motivation. Enough.
enough for now. Enough for now. We'll be coming back to you, Alexander. We'll be coming back to you as well, Tyson. Let's bring in Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren. And Frank, we were talking earlier, it's been about a year since this whole Riyadh season thing started with boxing. It's been absolutely incredible. What a fight coming up. What a year it's been.
It's been an unbelievable. Last October was the first one, which was Tyson. He opened up the Riyadh season against Ngannou. Since then, we've had some brilliant nights. For me, the standout fight was these two guys. I mean, it was history. First time the 4 belts were on the line. You had 2 undefeated fighters going into the fight. It was a magnificent fight. Unbelievably top quality heavyweight bout. And the next one is going to be, I think, every bit as good, if not better, because they've been in the ring with each other. They've shared that ring. I know they've got respect for each other, and I know they'll be looking for clues to try and negate what they feel the other guy's best moves will be and so forth. But you know what? It's just going to be great. It's going to be great. And I believe in Tyson. I believed in him from day one. And I believe he can go and do this business in style. We've had great fights in the Riyadh season. We've had 67 boxers on the cards, 42 title fights, 14 world title bouts, 5 unified titles, and 2 undisputed, all in 12 months, as well as the Riyadh season events in Los Angeles and London. And London was the biggest live gate in UK boxing history. And then what happened about this? They got His Excellency and Riyadh season got the promoters working together. They got the TV companies working together. Never been known. TNT, DAZN, Sky, all working together to continue to support the greatest sport in the world. The boxing landscape is in the best shape it's ever been in because of Riyadh season. And we've got on the 21st of December, the fight. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you, Frank. Let's bring in Alex Krasik from Team Usyk. Alex, it was a great night for you in May. I did hear you say, however, that you feel the referee stole a knockout win from Alexander Usyk in the 9th round. Give us your thoughts heading into the rematch and your reflections on the first fight, please.
Hello, London, the capital of boxing in the world. Dev, thanks for the question. I will not, unfortunately, answer it because it was in the past. Now, as Usyk used to say, we have the present and we are making the future in the present. So after having been so fortunate to see the undisputed heavyweight championship between 2 best athletes in the world, which is a unique fortune, a unique phenomenon, but seeing them fighting for the 2nd time in a row is almost a miracle. So thanks to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for making fans' dreams come true. I wish both guys go through their respective training camps healthy, well prepared, and ready to go, and let the best man win again. Thank you very much. God bless all of us.
Thank you, Alex Krasik. Completely swerved the question. Let's bring in Brad Jacobs, very much in Team Tyson. Brad Jacobs, of course, from Top Rank. You were there to witness an incredible fight back in May. How are you feeling about this one, and how confident are you that your man Tyson Fury here will get the job done?
Very confident, of course. Well, thank you, first of all, Dev, and everyone involved in the event, especially Gia, His Excellency, Sella, the companies, Queensberry, Team Usyk. Look, Tyson Fury is best with his back to the wall. We've seen it a few times before with the Wilder and Klitschko. He's sort of in that position again, and I have no doubt that Tyson will become victorious again in a Tyson-esque way. We don't know what way that'll be, but it will happen, one of his performances on the 21st. So we're really looking forward to it. Thrilled to be involved. Bob would have loved to be here today, had a previously scheduled engagement, but we're looking forward to the 21st.
Thank you, Brad. Just want to bring in Eddie Hearn here from Matchroom, who was on the Tyson Fury side of the table, Eddie. You were there?
What is going on in this building?
How exciting.
Is this Eddie Hearn on my table?
You must have a chirp on me being on your side, I tell you. Thanks to Frank and Spencer for inviting me out. I do feel like a bit of a competition winner. Sorry, Alexander. I mean, look, you know, whoever wins, I'll be nice and fair and honest as always.
Don't
whoever wins
worry.
on the 21st, I'll be on their side after, you know. Just on behalf of His Excellency in Riyadh season, I mean, I think they mentioned Alex Krasuk. The amazing thing is seeing this fight not once, but twice in 7 months. Because the best way to describe this fight is the first one. It's very unusual for me to be in that position watching two guys that I don't have any business in. And the hairs on the back of my neck were standing up. My heart was beating out of my chest watching this fight because I love boxing. And for me, that was the ultimate in the sport of boxing, the undisputed heavyweight world championship. And listen, as a outsider, as a, you know, someone with no skin in the game, let's be honest, this fight was close. When those decisions were being read out, no one knew which way it was going to go. And Alexander Usyk proved himself as the pound-for-pound #1 in the sport. Just a remarkable fighter, undisputed cruiserweight world champion, undisputed heavyweight world champion. And, you know, every time I've bet against Tyson Fury, he's proved everybody wrong. So you can't rule him out in this fight. And all the respect for Alexander Usyk. We have to be Team Britain for this fight, and I just urge every fight fan to make your way to Riyadh on December 21st, because last time the atmosphere was incredible. Forget what people say. Oh, the atmosphere isn't great out there. The atmosphere was incredible for the last fight. We've got an incredible undercard, one of the best fights that can be made in boxing. Good luck, Tyson. Good luck, Alexander. This is exactly what the sport needs. You've both been tremendous for the sport of boxing. May the best man win.
Thank you, Eddie Hearn. I want to hear from Spencer Brown of Gold Star Promotions. Now, Spencer, again, you were there at the very start of Riyadh season's involvement in boxing. What an incredible year it has been. That's point one. Point two is, you said that you've seen something different in Tyson Fury heading into this fight. Tell us a little bit more about that as well.
Well, Riyadh season it's just blown everybody away. The quality that's been on there, the standards, it's made some of the lower ranked boxers come right up. We've seen people fighting for world titles that maybe we thought would never, and Turki Al-Sheikh has made that his priority to do that, and made all the biggest fights in the world we could think of, really. I mean, we just had one, but I think this one on the 21st will be the biggest fight this year. I think Tyson Fury will come out victorious. The boxing it's just a job for Tyson. If you speak to him, it's just a job. It's like taking the bins and the bags out. It's just a job for him. But he's got 10 weeks now, 10 weeks of hard graft. He's going to be bigger, stronger, and he's going to do his best. And I think he's going to beat Alexander Usyk, who, let's not take anything away from him. He's some unbelievable fighter. I still believe that Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world, and I think we're going to see that on the 21st. And good luck to both teams, and let's hope there's no incidents in the training camps or anything that could put a block on anything. Because as we saw the last fight, it was incredible, and I think we're going to in Britain, we're going to have our champion back again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Spencer Brown. Let's go back to the Usyk side of the table. Egis Klimas, the manager of Alexander Usyk. Egis, I've seen a few comments from you online reacting to things that Tyson Fury has said. Are you okay with Tyson Fury? What's going on there? And also tell us why you feel your man's going to repeat the job on December 21st.
Good evening, London. Very happy to be here. Where we go again, you know, for Usyk2Fury. It used to be Fury Usyk, right now it's the Usyk2Fury, December 21. The last fight, as everybody saw and witnessed, it was an incredible fight. It was a big entertainment fight for fans. half of a fight, nobody knew what was going to go on, who's going to win, who's going to, who's going to be a winner. But I think Alexander, not I think, but I know, Alexander picked up a pace for the end of the fight, and he pulled out the fight. We were lucky to become as the winners. As far as the upcoming fight, it's hard to predict. It's boxing. We know. We've seen many. Sometimes you can win, but nowadays the judges just see us different than we see a fight. But hopefully the judges is going to be very fair for the fight. And my biggest wish, both guys become without the cuts, then we don't have to curse each other. And the best man going to win December 21. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Egis. Just a final one for yourself. I did see some comments with you and Tyson Fury online. Everything okay with you guys? What's going on there?
Of course, everything is okay. Look, we're a professional. Some are professional boxers, some are professional managers, some are professional promoters. We need to promote a fight, and sometimes we're just getting out of a lane and start fucking each other, and which is nothing we can do much about it. This is a sport. This is the environment we're in. So nothing new here.
Apologies for the language. I wasn't expecting to have to say that after Egis Klimas spoke today, but there we are. Thank you, Egis. Let's head over. Let's talk to the trainers. Let's speak first to Sugar Hill, very much Tyson Fury's man, heading into this just like you were in the last few fights. Has Tyson Fury got to do anything different, and what happened in that first fight as you reflect on it?
I've been listening to everybody talk, and everybody's talking, and everybody's saying the right things. It was a great fight. It's good for boxing and all of that. The only thing I have to say is that in life, you learn from mistakes. You learn in life. And, yeah, you have to better yourself. So that's pretty much it.
Has Tyson Fury got to better himself for the rematch?
I said it already.
Okay, over and out from Sugar Hill. The mic has been removed. Back to Eddie Hearn, Eddie. Let's bring in Serge Lapin, very much the Usyk camp, Usyk's trainer. Serge, has Alexander got to do anything different in the rematch, or did everything just go to plan the first time?
Good evening, everybody. We analyze almost every action and do the hard work. Thanks RTF team for opportunity to utilize modern technology is our work. We'll be hearing from sound. Usyk, Usyk, Usyk.
Okay, and tactically, is everything still the same?
We see you 21st December in tactic, technique, and new physical style.
Okay, we look forward to it, Serge. All right, let's speak to the fighters again. Tyson, I'm going to bring you in here. I saw a post on your social media. You said, "I know what I have to do. I saw my shortcomings, and I am inevitable." Tell us about that.
Listen, we did the fight in May of this year. Great fight. I know we keep bragging on about it, but it's in the past now, so we've got to put that behind us. What happened in the fight was a good fight for the fans, and we move on from that. But like I said earlier on in my opening statement, I have to be a little bit more focused and a little bit more smart to get the victory. As it would seem, my rematch with people is always ends up one way. I always end up knocking them out in the rematch. Whoever I've faced more than once has been knocked out in the rematch. So I'm envisaging something similar in the second fight with Usyk. All I can do is prepare well, train hard, eat well, go to bed early, wake up early, do the right things, listen to people around me, and the rest is in God's hands. And last time in May, it wasn't my time to win, or else the Almighty would have given me the victory. And I'm very happy that Usyk got the decision, because God's timing is not late, it's not imperfect, it's perfection. So that was meant to be, and we're going to find out what's going to be meant to be in December the 21st. I believe it will be my time this time, and I believe that all things that happen, negative or positive, are lessons. We must learn from the things that we go through in our lives, and we can only do the best we can do as human beings and as boxers and as fathers and as husbands and everything else. We can only do the best we can do as men. And that what we know how to do best is go in there and knock the fuck out of each other in a fight and to put on a show for the paying customer. And I hope you guys will enjoy this fight as much as I will. I'll see you all on the 21st. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tyson Fury. Alexander, please tell us about your outfit, about your briefcase, about your gloves. This is a whole new look. What can you tell us about this?
I don't know.
What's in the briefcase, Alexander?
It's just character.
Go on. He's thinking about it.
You can decide.
Yes.
To confirm this is a photograph of the first fight, Alexander Usyk is asking Tyson Fury to sign it.
I look like Shrek. It's a picture of me taking a big left hand to the jaw. He is blocked. It's a nice one.
Alexander, if you'd like to show the camera, please.
You will find it tomorrow on eBay.
There you go, signed and sealed from Alexander Usyk. Probably not on my press conference list today. Alexander, tell me this, do you need to do anything differently than what you did in the first fight, or was it all just okay?
No.
That's a pretty firm no from Alexander Usyk. And Tyson, I know you've already said goodbye, but I just want to bring you back in here. One of the comments out there was Tyson had too many voices in the corner. He needs to make changes. He needs to do this. He needs to do that. But I understand it's very much the same team and the same dream, right?
Yes.
What is going on? Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Well, we are expecting a phone call to come in very shortly, but let's keep things moving. We're expecting a phone call to come in from someone very important who's been involved in making this fight. Alexander, if you can't say yes or no, did anything surprise you about Tyson Fury the first time? Any surprises from Tyson Fury the first time?
Yes, of course.
What were they?
A lot of surprise was.
What were these surprises, Alexander?
I don't remember.
Let's fire that question over to Tyson Fury. Did anything surprise you about Alexander Usyk?
Guess what? I don't remember either.
Okay, nobody remembers the first fight. I certainly remember it. It was a great fight. It was May this year. But they're going to do it again on December 21st. I'd like to get a kind of message here. I'm not sure what I'm going to get, but Tyson, do you have a message for Alexander Usyk staring down the table? You've signed a poster for him. Anything else?
No.
And Alexander, final word to you, champ. What is your message to Tyson Fury?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to thank you so much. Brilliant. Very much a wordy press conference, which we won't forget. We're going to get some face-offs down the front. Thank you very much.
you got to feel sorry for Dev. I mean, as a broadcaster, come on, guys, give us something. Alexander Usyk, he dressed the part, he looked the part, just did not want to answer any questions.
Yes.
No, you don't do it either. You guys do not leave me hanging out this ride.
No. It was quite funny, wasn't it? But
That's Michael Buffer talking, so we're about to get a face-off here as we count down about 10 weeks away, December 21st, Fury Usyk Part 2. Both men saying that this one will not go the 12 rounds, unlike their first one.
Tyson Fury, 34 victories, 24 by knockout. Proudly representing the United Kingdom, the former lineal and two-time heavyweight world champion, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. And from Ukraine, the man with the perfect record, 22 fights, 22 victories, 14 by knockout. Former cruiserweight world champion, reigning, defending, undefeated, universally recognized heavyweight champion of the world, Alexander Usyk.
Well, I think the biggest thing we learned in this press conference is that Usyk isn't very ticklish, it appears. Barry, are you ticklish now? Let me give you a go here.
Obviously I am. Do you know what? You know what's very important though? For nothing gets to Usyk, nothing bothers him. So even Fury putting me over is familiar or trying to be angry, whatever he does, nothing faces Usyk. And I think that, Andy, for the first time, is something that's unusual for Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I said he doesn't go for the mind games before, and he doesn't give. He gives very little away, so there's nothing really to feed off. But yeah, it's a good approach for him. You know, it just adds to the mystique. And coming in with the suit, the briefcase, and the suit and the gloves, you know, he's a character.
I'd love to hear your take on one of the questions that Dev asked to Tyson Fury about the voices in his corner. I just rewatched the fight yesterday. His dad's yelling in his right ear, Sugar Hill's yelling in his left ear, sometimes conflicting advice. What do you make of that?
I was also there.
And what were you yapping about?
I was told going into the last 2 rounds he's down.
Yeah.
I was told by somebody who I thought would know. That's all I said. I had to say, you have to impart that. I would never usually speak. And Tyson, you're down. You have to win the last 2 rounds.
But it's got to be tough for him to hear all those.
The thing with the dad is, this is the man who raised you from a child. He wants to be in the corner for the undisputed fight. Hey, we're going to go to Tyson. We can talk about it later.
Yep, Liv is with the Gypsy King. Yep, sorry, she's with Alexander Usyk.
Alexander, you always look like the coolest man in the room every time I see you. Is this just how you are all of the time?
Хорошо. Yeah, I feel good. Yes, of course.
What was the thinking behind that entrance walking down in front of everyone?
Just walk. Yeah.
Okay, and what was about the briefcase with the picture of Tyson Fury, and why did you want him to sign it?
I buy, продам, sell. I sell this picture and help my Ukrainian soldiers.
That's what you're doing. You're selling. Oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
You are incredible. That is amazing. Okay, getting on to the fight then. Let's just talk about that last fight. What did you learn about yourself in that first fight with Tyson Fury?
Oh, I'm a lot of. Listen, cannot now talk to you because Tyson showed this video. Ah, okay, Usyk have like this. It's like my secret. Yeah, it questions my manager because my manager is like a very smart man. Yeah, and my coach.
Okay, well, listen to your manager and your coach. Thank you so much, Alexander.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, you can see Tyson Fury, still a popular figure, being swarmed by all the media here at Guildhall. We're in downtown London. What did you think of Usyk basically just tight-lipped today? Just didn't seem to be wanting to be here at all.
I'm just freaked out. You said downtown. I don't know.
Oh, you're sorry.
There's no downtown
Central
anywhere.
London. Sorry, Central London.
Usyk just, he plays his own character. He doesn't let any outside influence affect him at all. I think that's his superpower, actually. That is, just he is who he wants to be. So he'll play a character, but he'll play everything's on his own time, on his own thought. It doesn't anything affect him at all. And how he is outside the ring is how he is in the ring. He implements his will on you. He doesn't let any style or any bully tactics or strength or power or natural weight affect how he's going to go about his work. And that's so commendable, because being able to stay calm under pressure, whether it be in a press conference, away from home, or in the ring against a big guy, a big puncher, or a master boxer like Tyson Fury, it's very difficult, almost impossible to do. But he also always finds that calmness in himself, which means when you are calm, you can think. And when you can think, you see things clearer. You see the target clearly. You see the angles of attack. You see the target, and it makes you a better fighter. And he is as good as they get.
Yeah, it's that thing where you give the opponent no fuel. So if Usyk came out and said, I'm going to knock Fury out, I'm going to hit him with a body shot, I'm going to hit him with the left hand again on the chin, that's going to motivate Tyson. So you give your opponent no energy, you give him nothing. What can they do with that? If you're friendly to them, how can they hate you, Yeah, and as he said, he just wants to get back to his camp and his regime. That's his motivation. He already looks in fantastic shape. So
you fought in a rematch before, Brian Vera. When you talk to Tyson Fury in this training camp, what sort of things can you impart on him as to how you handled? Now, he's already had rematches himself, but just from your experience.
I think with me and Tyson is different from any animal. He's quite pragmatic about the thing. When I lost, I was devastated. I thought I couldn't sleep. I thought about it every waking moment. When I speak to him, I don't see that. He said, Andy, it was a close fight. I was underprepared, and I came up short. I know exactly what to do in the rematch. I'll be better, I'll be fitter, I'll be heavier, and I'm going to go straight for him like a train. So it seems it hasn't affected him. Now, maybe privately he is, but to me, he seems very calm, very cool, and he knows exactly what he has to do in the rematch.
Well, you know what? He's walking up on the stage right now. We're going to ask him that very question. The Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, is here. Good to see you again, Tyson. Hey, Andy was just talking about when he suffered a loss, he couldn't sleep at night. He thought about it all day, every day. But you seem to be handling this a little differently.
Andy never had 200 mil in the bank, did he?
It was the end of my career.
Different.
I still don't.
So we all know how close the first fight was, but there was times that you let Alexander off the hook in the early rounds. Is that something you can fix the second time around there, Tyson?
Sorry, say that again, Barry.
I said the first fight was so close.
Yeah.
There was times early in that fight where you looked at Alexander off the hook. Are you going to be more forceful this time round?
Listen, got to do what I got to do, and in the fight, it was a close fight last time. Apart from
brothers.
Oh, here we go. I've got Sugar Hill in here as well. I got to do what I got to do, Go in there and have a fight. That's it. We're very close last time. I'm not making any adjustments at all. Same team, same food people, same everything, same training, same the lot. Because if I lost it by a point, you know what I mean? A bit more focused, I'll win it, won't I? I don't need to do anything different. If I only lost it by a smaller than somebody's foreskin, yeah, then, you know, what more does a man need to do? Do you know what I mean? If I don't get a 10-8 round, then I win the fight, won't I? Simples.
But did you see, I know after the fight, did you just think, if I just did that, it would be different?
If I woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
If my grandmother had a set of nuts, she'd be my granddad. So I don't believe in if I woulda, shoulda, couldas. I believe in the truth. And the truth is, the man got the victory, fair play to him, give him his congratulations, get on with it. What do you want to do?
Sugar,
Go and die in a corner?
You're the trainer. Is this camp going to be similar to the other camp, or do you have to mix things up to keep him entertained, to keep him motivated? How do you handle Tyson Fury?
Well, you know what? It's the same thing. Yeah,
cocaine and hookers. That's how we get down. States town, Detroit town, London town.
All around the world, it's the same song. Listen, you got to improve. You got to learn in life, and that's about it. I mean, he said it more clear. There's nothing else for me to capitalize on and say, listen, you learn from your mistakes. Why change what works? You made one mistake, and that was it. Cost you the fight.
So we talk about legacies now in this month. Everyone talks about their legacy. Do you think this, if you get the win, do you think that cements you as one of the best heavyweights of all time? When, okay, I'll break it apart.
There you go.
When you get the win, do you think this cements you as one of the best of all time?
That is very unimportant to me. Legacies in boxing. My legacies are my beautiful children every time I look at them. And I got loads of them to look at. So that's the only thing I care about. That, getting paid a shit ton of money and then getting laid. But as Andy Lee would say, getting bread and getting head, motherfucker!
I don't know what this has become, but
I've never actually said that in my life.
There's only one. Tyson Fury, you're watching DAZN, the home of boxing.
I'm getting fired.
When the cat's got the cream, does the hunger die? Or does the hunt for the next victim intensify? But tread carefully now, for an injured wolf is at its most lethal.
Don't write me off. Do not write me off.
It's just another name on my record. World title next.
Don't just talk about it, be about it. Stand on business.
Stand on Business, live on DAZN.
Hey, they stuck around for the nightcap. This is like the after party all of a sudden. Catterall Prograis this Saturday. Any thoughts on that fight at all? Jack Catterall?
I like Jack. He's from local to me. He's a Lancashire lad like myself. He lives about 20 miles from where I do. And, yeah, Jack in this fight for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, his ability to box on the back foot, as well as be as aggressive as he showed in the Taylor fight. I think Prograis now at this stage of his career, still a dangerous fighter, doesn't have the acceleration and pace that he once had, so you have to make Catterall a favourite. But it's fraught with danger, this fight. If he tries to mix it up too much and plays in the Prograis' hand, it's a hard night's work for him. But I do think at home, he'll have the ability to win.
Listen, I'm fair.
20 miles from your house.
Listen, I'm going with Jack because you know, listen, he's a local guy. I'm from Markham. He ain't far from me. He ain't far from me, and no, I think it's going to be a good fight. It's two fighters that they love to fight, and they're very exciting fighters whenever you watch them. And that's what I expect to see. I just expect to see an exciting fight as a boxing trainer, as a fan. Never mind just a trainer, but as a fan, I want to watch exciting fights, period. And that fight is going to be an exciting fight.
You talked about how much money you've had, by the way. What's the most satisfying thing you've been able to buy with all that money? What thing has made you the most happy?
Satisfying thing I've been able to buy?
A protein bar from the spa?
Probably a protein bar from the spa. And the extra small condoms that we like to use as well. They're pretty good too. Sugars. I'll borrow sugars.
All right, Tyson.
You don't want to borrow
What's the final message you want to leave the world right now as you soar off to get to training camp?
I'm already in training camp. I don't need 9 weeks. I need 4 or 5 weeks. Fantastic. I'll see you all there on December the 21st. Enjoy the night as much as I do. And that's it. Enjoy. What more can I say?
You're the one that's got to figure out Usyk again, right? So good luck to you as well.
Yeah. As everybody don't know, this is my brother right here. We lived together for 7 years in Detroit.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Live in the same house, wake up, eat, train, eat, sleep every day. Pool, the mall, go out to a place called Royal. We just go out there. It's a good walking place. Go out there, have a couple of little walks around town. Yeah.
Hey, it's a bromance made in boxing heaven. Congratulations.
Kings of Leon concert in Cleveland, Ohio was the best place I've ever been.
There you have it. Sugar Hill joining us here as we say goodbye from Central London, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up December 21st, it happens. It's reignited. Alexander Usyk defends his world heavyweight titles against Tyson Fury.